This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of March 21st, 2022. March 20th is the equinox, the halfway point between the December solstice and the June solstice, marking the start of spring in the northern hemisphere, autumn in the southern hemisphere, and this week's weird energies are going to color that whole season. It will feel for most of the week as if we're floating in some strange, otherworldly, cloud-filled environment, or perhaps floating on the sea of all humanity with some sudden earthquakes in the ocean and then fire erupting. Real unusual. And a lot of what is happening is laying the groundwork for setting the stage for the defining aspect of the year, which comes to a head, if you can call it that, next month when Jupiter and Neptune form an exact conjunction in the otherworldly sign of Pisces. They're traveling pretty close together right now. We're already feeling the buildup with an increase in imagination, an increase in inner connectivity, an increase in just general delusion in hooey. And this week, our communication channels travel through that buildup. There's been an increased sensitivity, an increased sense of telepathy, of knowingness, of intuition, of logic being out the window with Mercury in the sign of Pisces. This week starts with him actually meeting with Jupiter, and then on the 23rd, Neptune, the two planets that are traveling together and forming the exact conjunction next month. The Mercury-Jupiter link may make the information flow into a tsunami, immersing us all in the experience of people that we do not even know, drowning us perhaps in information and information and information. The positive potential is an uncommon deluge of transcendence and imagination and escapism. And honestly, if your response to this is simply to go outside, lie in the grass, and stare at the clouds, that's probably the healthiest reaction. Dreams are likely to be off the charts. Trust your intuition. This is one of those times when you know who's texting before the notification comes. You know who's phoning. People probably actually will phone. You will wake up feeling like you've had conversations during the night, and who knows, you might likely have done that. Again, this is the prelude to what's coming next month, so make use of it. If you're a writer, a creator, someone who's been trying to solve a problem, move forward on a goal, harness this for non-logical, non-rational input. Ask for information in dreams, ask for answers to questions, and then let go of the questions and see what floats into your mind, what floats across your field. A song might have the answer. You might be watching a show or a movie and then suddenly know the answer. Live through intuition. Have fun with it. Now, as this is sending us all off in these clouds of, well, who knows what, a cosmic hand pulls a lever and big changes break into being. Like a trigger is being pulled, like a lever is being pulled. Something that has been rattled and destabilized and pressurized, possibly since December, suddenly lunges forward. In the midst of this guidance, we are taking action. Unseen hands are causing things to happen. This is the influence of the earthquake under the water, taking action on faith, sensing that it's the time to do something even though your conscious mind can't point to why. Nudge-based living. There are openings along with this to understand secrets and hidden forces, subterranean influences, to actually gain clarity in the midst of the fog and all the water and telepathy. And it's just generally weird, okay? Like we're walking around in a dream, but things are happening. There's massive forward movement on situations that have been primed for change and for breakthrough. And also moments of incredible mental clarity, even in the midst of all the fog. Something is nudging us to face some things, to act with responsibility, to dare to want even more than we have, to dare to open our hearts even more than they are. And then the pilot light gets lit. And this presages what's coming in the middle of May. Our conscious minds come back online. There's a fieriness and an impulsiveness and a boldness to the information flow, to what our minds are doing, to the words that are flying out of our mouths. Now we will have the Sun and Mercury both in Aries. In a few weeks, expansive Jupiter and Mars will be there. So again, we're doing prep work. The energy is starting to ramp up. That will kick in really dramatically later. So 2 things presaging that this week, and they involve what happens with information and what we do with our minds and how we communicate. Again, we are on the on-ramp to the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, so we're getting information from all kinds of sources that next month will help us envision loving, magical futures, as insane as that sounds. And then a mental boldness, almost like, well, could be actually fighting words, come back online in a way that's going to presage the level of energy and activity that we'll have as we're finishing up this season at the end of May. Homing thought of the week. This is figuratively speaking. Don't freak out. The homing thought of the week is praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. The song of the week, prepare ye the way of the Lord from Godspell. And the image of the week, pressing a button that sets machinery in motion. Or if you prefer, winding up a toy and letting it go. You'll learn more about all this in my forecast for the month of March, which is up at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. I host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio on the first and third Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern, and my March 21 show looks at ways you can use astrology on a daily basis with Robin Langford, creator of the Wicked Veracity Digital Astrology Calendar. I also host lively conversation on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited in the group The Astro-Insight Lounge. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, and I'm really grateful to the people who support my work there. I'm on Instagram at KA Biehl and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian Channel. Talk to you next week.